All right, ladies, gents, I want to show you a little trick. So I call this, there's tricks with contracts where in trading you can basically try to move your break-even point lower on the trade. So I just want to show you, here. So our entry is here, enter, okay? Our stop loss is here, right? Okay, so basically, when we enter the market, this is our break-even point, right? So if the market goes down and then it comes upwards, okay, this is our break-even point because we entered right here. We entered right here. So that's our break-even point. And if we go down, it's our stop. This is traditional trading, right? And our target could be up here. Our target's up there. So basically, we want to use this as our break-even point. We want to use the stop as our break-even point. Well, you can't do that, right? Well, yes, you can actually. It goes like this. You buy 3 contracts at this dotted line, and you sell 2 of them, 66%, 2/3 of your order, you sell off at 0.5 to 1 risk reward. This is the risk reward, it's 1, right? 0.5 is like right here. Probably right here. Target 1. This will bring your break-even point here. So I'll explain. We're risking $100 per contract. Say we buy 3 contracts. That means this box that we're entering here and selling here is $300 risk, okay? So now we sell 2 contracts at 0.5 to 1. We just made $100 risk. We just made 100 bucks, okay? Now what are we risking on the trade? We're holding 1 contract, we bought it there, we're selling here, we're risking $100 on the trade. But we just made on 2 contracts, because we sold 2 contracts up at T1 at 0.5 to 1, we just made $100 exactly. So technically, we're risking nothing on the trade now. So it's like you can creep this closer and closer. You can creep the targets closer and closer to you. You can never get to break even, but you can keep it closer and closer. So if you buy 100 contracts at this dotted line, you're selling 100 contracts here, but you sell 99 of them at 0.1 to 1. 0.1, that's right here, like barely goes in your favor, and you sell 99 of them back. You just made enough risk to afford holding 1 contract all the way to your stop and still being break even and never losing on the trade. Okay, the hardest part is as you get extended into that direction, like 99 contracts you're getting rid of just to carry your 1 contract risk. You're getting into, if it does slice against you, if it does just go all the way down, you're gonna lose full money on that. You're gonna lose 100 contracts worth. That's $1,000, whatever that is. More than that, $10,000. 100, I don't even know. 1 contract is 100 bucks. So let's say here, we narrowed it down, we graphed it out, and honestly, the best choice to do is 3 contracts, okay? Or you can just say, if you're doing Forex or any other contract, shares of stock, if you have a lot of them, you don't have to have a limit of 3 contracts. You just 2/3 of your order, of your account, or sorry, 2/3 of your trade should be taken at T1, which is a 0.5 to 1, okay, 0.5 to 1. This is like a 5 to 1. You can also do a 4 to 1. You can do a 3 to 1, you know how it goes, right? The best way to do this is 3 contracts. You sell off 66% of your position at a 0.5 to 1. The odds of that happening is 66%. Meaning, yeah, you just have to, 66% of the time, theoretically, you're gonna hit that target 1. And if you do the trades, if you do the math, if you do the optimizations in your back test, if you have edge, you're gonna have way more wins than 66%. I have a 1-to-1. It goes 1-to-1. 77% of the time. Yeah. It goes 1-to-1 77% of the time. Now I account for bias. I account for these things like, you know, you could have bias. You could only record the ones that you want to record, and there's a hidden bias. I try to include everything, but sometimes you got to include these biases, and it's just, so I would bring that down 10%. I'd bring it down 20%. Still, if a 1-to-1, as long as you're over 50% win rate, you're in the positive. So I'm 77% win rate. You know what I'm saying? So you could go down, I'd bring it to 60% win rate. Still, dude, you're in the lead. You just dropped to 77% or 17%. I mean, your bias is not that strong. Holy crap. But anyways, like I said, this is the trick to bring our break-even point up. So when it goes down, right, we entered 3 contracts right here, it goes up, and then we sold off 66% of our position, which is 2 contracts. Now, our break-even point, instead of being this dotted line as our break-even point of like when we're out of the position, out of the trade totally, we're gonna be at 0, net 0. That's a break-even point. So our break-even point is this dotted line when we sell 2/3 of our position at 0.5 to 1, awfully close to our entry price, right? Closer to our entry price than the stop. The stop's further away. If it goes up there and we sell off 66% of our position, 2/3 of our position at 0.5 to 1, where now our break-even point is here. Our break-even point is the stop now. Now, we are risking 1 contract. We just made $100 off this first target. 2 contracts going 0.5 to 1 is $100 total profit. We're now holding 1 contract, 33% of our position. We're holding 1 contract, okay? If it goes down to our stop, we lose $100. But we've already made $100 off this first target, so technically break even. Now, if it does run up, and hits that target 5, that's $500. We just made $500, basically break risk-free. If we hit that T1, we're risk-free. We are risk-free immediately. As soon as we can be risk-free, we are risk-free. And that's what it is at 0.5 to 1. We're just risk-free now. As a total of your total risk, you're really risking $300 on this trade, okay? Technically, but even though you win 70, theoretically, you'd win 66% of the time. But like I said, we're winning 77% of the time, at least for 0.5 to 1. And oftentimes you will if you have edge. So technically, you're risking $300 on trade, but really, you're gonna be risking $100 on the trade altogether. Okay, so $300 on the trade. We're making $500 on the trade. Our risk reward, even if we did get sliced like this, where risk reward is still higher reward than the risk. Okay, so if you do a 99 contracts carry and then holding 1 contract, the risk, if it slices through, is nowhere near a 5 to 1, nowhere near it. So it works. It breaks. Too much of a good thing is a bad thing. This is the perfect amount. 66% of the order at 0.5 to 1. You are now break even on the trade, and you can have your original stop with 1 contract or 33% of your order. Let that puppy ride. Do a 4 to 1, 5 to 1. You can go a 6 to 1. I found that 5 to 1 works best for my holding level strategy, but there's tons of different strategies you can do. 4 to 1, whatever works best with your statistics, with your data, with your trades, with your, if it's an intraday swing trade, whatever. Intraday, sometimes those things ride if you just hit a pivot. So you don't know. Sometimes holding it for a 7 to 1, 8 to 1 is actually a better idea, even though you'll lose more often, or in this case, break even more often. It's oftentimes more profitable. So you have to find out your own statistics and do your own optimization spreadsheet and stuff like that. But this is a trick that honestly, I don't think anybody knows about. I don't think anybody really cares, but this is where it's at, dude. I mean, I'm gonna be break even on the trade. My entry price is my break even point. Or sorry, my stop loss is my break even point. If it stops me out, who cares? I didn't lose any money, dude. So if it does get sliced, great. I lose $300, okay? But if I win, which happens 25% of the time, 28% of the time, it wins a target 5 to 1. So honestly, we're gonna make $500 more than we lose. So I think it's a good method. I think we're gonna test out a lot more in my holding level strategy, but I think this is the way to go. I think this is the move, but this is a super cool trick that you can do with your contracts to bring your break-even point, instead of being at your entry price, your break-even point is at your stop loss. Try it out, see how it works.